Physical media man, physical media man, physical media man. What'd you buy? Was it something good?
What's up, guys? Physical Media Man back here again for another Physical Media Man Monday video. It is spooky season. It's October. It's Halloween time. I figured it'd be a good idea to do a Scream Factory collection update. I already did the top 10 movies I'm interested in trying to get in this October, but I figured I don't know if I ever did one of these, and if I did, it's been a while and I've gotten a few things since then, so I figured it'd be the perfect time to show off the Scream Factory collection. Most of these I've seen. Some I haven't, some I'm planning on trying to watch this October. But anyways, before I get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave feedback, do all that good stuff down below. I'll leave the links to my Instagram page, my Physical Media Man Store Instagram page, my Facebook page for the Physical Media Man / Physical Media Man Store, my Facebook page for non-media related items, the Hodgepodge Garage, my email, my eBay, my Twitter, and my Letterboxd account. So yeah, these should be in alphabetical order. I'll talk a little bit about each title probably. So yeah, first up we got 8mm, Nicolas Cage movie. Also has Joaquin Phoenix in it, as well as James Gandolfini. It's directed by Joel Schumacher. This is still sealed. I haven't watched this one since I bought it, but I did watch the DVD I used to have. I thought this movie is really good. I don't know if I would really consider this too scary, more of like a thriller detective type film, but it is part of the Scream Factory line, so happy to have that one in the collection. Next up, we got Assault on Precinct 13. This is a John Carpenter one. As you'll see, I've tried to purchase all of the John Carpenter Scream Factory titles I can or could. Hopefully this one gets a 4K if it hasn't already. One of the things with the Scream Factory collection is I've been trying to get as many with slipcovers as I can. That's one of the boutique label stuff I try to get with slipcovers if I can help it. Watched this one I think last year. I had seen the remake with Lawrence Fishburne and Ethan Hawke, and liked that one quite a bit. And I need to revisit this. I thought it was good, but I kind of, from what I remember, like enjoyed watching the remake more. And I could have just had high expectations for that one and didn't love it as much as I hoped. Next up, John Carpenter again, one of my favorites. We got Kurt Russell in Big Trouble in Little China. Also has Kim Cattrall. There's somebody else in it. Doesn't have names really much on the back here, but he plays Jack Burton, a truck driver. This is an 80s movie, and it's just a lot of fun. 1986. This one, so yeah, have this one with the slipcover. Like I said, one of my favorites, old Jack Burton. It's just a great combination of like 80s movie with martial arts and kind of sci-fi fantasy. Just a really fun movie. Yeah, so it says Jack Burton's a tough talking truck driver whose life goes into a supernatural tailspin when his best friend's fiance is kidnapped in John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China. Jack suddenly finds himself in a murky, danger-filled world beneath San Francisco's Chinatown, where a low-pan, 2,000-year-old magician mercilessly rules an empire of spirits. So yeah, a little supernatural, fun, just a really great movie. So really happy to have that one in the collection. Next up, this is still sealed. I haven't watched it yet. Another John Carpenter. This is Body Bags. I think this is a kind of anthology title here. I'm hoping it gets a 4K so I can get it again with the slip and have it in 4K. So I'm going to probably hold off trying to watch this one, at least for a while. So it says Alex Datcher Stars as a woman working the late shift at the gas station while a killer is on the loose. Then Stacy Keach can't stand the thought of losing his hair, and he'll do anything to keep it. And finally, Mark Hamill portrays a baseball player that submits to an eye transplant after he loses an eye in a car accident. So, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen that one yet. I'm going to try to hold off if I can help it. Next up, I like this one quite a bit. We got Candyman. So yeah, if you have a slipcover for this one, I'd be interested in trying to get that. It did get a 4K, I think, so I probably should have upgraded because this is one of my favorites. Written and directed by Bernard Rose, based on The Forbidden by Clive Barker. You got, so the gut-wrenching thriller follows a graduate student whose research summons the spirit of the dead. When Helen Lyle hears about Candyman, a slave spirit with a hook hand who is said to haunt a notorious housing project, she thinks she has a new twist for her thesis. But yeah, then craziness transpires. Yeah, good one there. This one's a lot of fun. Another one that's not really that scary, really at all. We got Sylvester Stallone in Cobra. He plays Lieutenant Cobretti, a one-man assault team whose laser mount submachine gun and pearl handled Colt 45 spit pure crime-stopping venom. So just over the top 80s cheese, a lot of fun. If you haven't seen that one, definitely recommend it. So yeah. Next up we got the Critters box set. I haven't watched any of these since I've got the box set. I did watch the original and thought it was a lot of fun. Another one that's kind of not like great movies, but at least the first one anyway, but still fun, like 80s. So I bought the box set and I haven't watched any of that one yet. So next up, I haven't watched this either. We got Cyborg with Jean-Claude Van Damme. So deteriorating from a deadly plague, 21st century America is descending into a barbaric nightmare. Only Pearl Prophet, played by Dale Hayden, a beautiful half-human, half-cyborg, has the knowledge necessary to develop a vaccine. But during her quest to gather data and bring the cure to the world, Pearl is captured by cannibalistic flesh pirates who plot to keep the antidote for themselves and rule the world. Now only saber-wielding hero Gibson Rickenbacker, played by Van Damme, can rescue her and save civilization. So yeah. I do like Jean-Claude movies quite a bit, so I'll have to check this one out at some point. Like I said, I haven't seen that one. Next up, we got a pretty fun one. Bruce Willis, Goldie Hawn, Meryl Streep, and Robert Zemeckis' Death Becomes Her. Watch this one. I really enjoyed it. And it's getting a 4K, I believe. I'll probably just hang on to this Blu-ray since I have the slip and everything. But it says two narcissistic arch rivals discover the ultimate accessory, a potion that will keep them young forever. When they meet a mysterious enchantress with deep ties to the Hollywood elite, but they get more than they bargained for when their newfound beauty only intensifies their vanity and rivalry in this fast-paced, very fun, dark comedy. So yeah, definitely recommend that one if you haven't seen it. Next up, we got Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. Watched this one for the first time a year or two ago. Pretty fun, different kind of concept with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's so when he drinks the potion, he's transformed into a beautiful woman with an unstoppable taste for mayhem. So got this one fairly cheap. I think it might be out of print. But another one I would recommend watching if you haven't seen it. Different kind of take on the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Next up, we got Dragonheart 4K with Dennis Quaid and Sean Connery as the voice of the dragon. Long ago, when majestic fire breathers soared through the skies, there lived a knight who would come face to face with and heart to heart with the most remarkable creature that ever existed, the dragon. Yeah. Fun little movie there. I decided to keep that one. I got a good deal on it and hadn't seen it, so I figured I'd get it and watch it and decide from there and decide to keep it. So Next up, we got John Carpenter's Escape from New York. I do also have Escape from LA. I think it's in the other room. I have the Blu-ray of that one. I have the 4K here of Escape from New York. Another John Carpenter with Kurt Russell. Watched this last year. The second time watched. The first time I don't feel like I liked it too much. Second time I really enjoyed it. Thrilling landmark film that jolts along at a breakneck pace. Escape from New York leapt to cult status with high octane action, edge of your seat suspense, and the mind-blowing vision of lone warrior Snake Plissken, played by Kurt Russell, battling his way out of a post-apocalyptic Manhattan. In a world ravaged by crime, the entire island of Manhattan has been converted into a walled prison where brutal prisoners roam. But when the U.S. president crash lands inside, played by Donald Pleasance, only one man can bring him back, notorious outlaw and former Special Forces war hero Snake Plissken. But he's only got 24 hours to do it. But yeah, really enjoyed this again on a second watch, so happy to have that in the collection. Next up, one I haven't watched yet, we got Firestarter with Drew Barrymore. This is based on Stephen King's story, based on the unforgettable bestseller by Stephen King. Chronicles the extraordinary life of Charlene McGee. 8-year-old Drew Barrymore stars as the child who has the amazing ability to start fires with just a glance. So yeah, I might try to watch that one this October. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet. Next up, we got the Fly collection. I've watched the Jeff Goldblum one as well as the original, I believe. I haven't seen the others. 5-film set here. So look forward to checking the rest of the set out. I've heard good things about the other ones. Next up, we got some more John Carpenter. This is the 4K of The Fog. Watched this on DVD, upgraded to the Blu-ray, and then this came out, so I upgraded to the 4K. Really enjoyed this one. It says, when the fog rolls in, the terror begins. This moody horror classic from Master of Terror, John Carpenter, and producer Deborah Hill stars Andrea Barbeau, Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Atkins, Hal Holbrook, and Janet Leigh. Don't get lost in the fog. The sleepy seaside village of Antonio Bay is about to learn the true meaning of the word vengeance. This seemingly perfect town masks a guilty secret. Past steeped in greed and murder. Exactly 100 years ago, a ship was horribly wrecked under mysterious circumstances in a thick, eerie fog. Now, shrouded in darkness, the long dead mariners have returned from their watery grave to exact a bloody revenge. So yeah, really enjoyed watching that one for the first time, and really happy to have the 4K in the collection. So yeah, I've been trying to get the John Carpenter 4K, like I said. Next up, we got the Friday the 13th box set. Not my favorite of the scary movie franchises, but I'm really happy to have this box set in the collection. I've watched a few of these. Like I said, they aren't my favorite, but like I said, happy to have them in the collection. Yeah, that's all the Friday the 13th movies. All right, oh, that's the last. Next up's one of my favorites in the scary movie franchises. We got the Halloween. Got this from one of my old coworkers, and I let him know that it was worth a little bit of money, but I only paid like $5 for this or so. I think I paid like 10 or 15 for everything he had. So basically, this was what I was mainly after. So this has all the Halloween movies in it. It's not the big set that had the pumpkin on it and everything, but still really happy to have it. And I had already purchased all of the 4Ks, so think these are really neat looking, and I'm looking forward to, I think I watched some of the original last year, but I haven't watched any of the others. So we got Halloween 1, Halloween 2, 3, which is one of my favorites, 4, 5. I do plan on watching one of these out of the box set of 1995 to 2002 that has Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween H2O, and Halloween Resurrection. So there's those. Next up, got from friend of the show Joey and Unbroken Cinema, we got Idle Hands. Remember this being one of the first scary movies I ever watched. It's been a long time since I've seen it, and I look forward to revisiting. So got Anton Tobias, played by Devon Sawa. It's a channel surfing, junk food munching, couch potato burnout who can't control the murderous impulses of his recently possessed hand. With the help of his zombified buddies, Mick, played by Seth Green, and Nub, played by Eldon Henson. From Mighty Ducks, yes. Anton's got to stop the rampaging devil appendage before it takes total control of his life and ruins any chance he has with the class hottie, played by Jessica Alba. So yeah, looking forward to revisiting it. Like I said, I remember having a lot of fun with it. Next up, we got some Pierce. Haven't opened this yet. Watched the DVD. If anybody has a slipcover for this, I'd definitely be interested in that. But yeah, pick this up for the Pierce Brosnan collection. Another one that's not really that scary, but is part of the Scream Factory line. So you got Dr. Lawrence Angelo, played by Pierce, is a brilliant scientist obsessed with perfecting virtual reality software. When his experiments on animals fail, he finds himself the ideal substitute, Job Smith, a slow-witted gardener. His goal is to benefit his Dr. Angelo's goal is to benefit his human guinea pig and ultimately mankind himself, but evil lurks in the guise of the Shop, a shadowy group that seeks to use the technology to create an invincible war machine. Yeah, remember that one being kind of out there, but a decent watch. And next up, we got Mad Max, the original, directed by George Miller, post-apocalyptic landscape, really good movie featuring eye-popping stunts that are electrifying and very convincing, and authentic spirit. This unforgettable actioneer from director George Miller. Yeah, in the ravaged near future, a savage motorcycle gang rules the road, terrorizing innocent civilians while tearing up the streets. The ruthless gang laughs in the face of a police force hell-bent on stopping them, but they underestimate one officer, Max. And when the bikers brutalize Max's best friend and family, they send him into a mad frenzy that leaves him with only one thing left in the world to live for: revenge. Yeah, kind of breakthrough role for Mel Gibson. Definitely worth watching if you haven't seen that one. Usually able to find that Scream Factory Blu-ray pretty cheap. Next up, we got Misery. Watched the DVD of this a year or two ago, and I think I got this on sale really cheap from Hamilton Book. Was real excited when it came with the slip. Stephen King story. So novelist Paul Sheldon doesn't remember the blinding blizzard that sent his car spinning off the road, but he will never forget Annie Wilkes. So James Caan plays the author, and Kathy Bates is one of his biggest fans, and she helps him recuperate from his injuries. In this secluded cabin, begins to discover that beneath the seemingly kind and naive exterior of his self-described #1 fan lurks a mind that is cunning, unhinged, and bent on keeping her favorite writer as her personal prisoner for the rest of his cockadoodie life. Yeah, really good performances, really good movie. Next up, I just got, because it was really cheap, I haven't watched it yet, planning on watching it this October. We got My Bloody Valentine, the 4K Blu-ray. I think I paid $12 for this, so was worth grabbing. So this is the original. On Valentine's Day, someone always loses their heart. 20 years ago, this small town lost more than that when supervisors abandoned their posts and to attend the town's annual holiday dance. The tragedy claimed the lives of 5 miners. The sole survivor, Harry Warden, was institutionalized but returned for a vengeful massacre on the disaster's first anniversary. 19 years later, the town is gearing up for another Valentine's Day party. Teen sweethearts TJ and Sarah, along with their friend Axel, are among the excited partygoers. But when a box of candy containing an eerie warning and blood-soaking heart arrived, the townsfolk realized that romance is as good as dead. And so are they. So yeah, don't know too much about this, but looking forward to checking it out, and probably get rid of it if I don't like it and keep it if I do. Next up, we got some more Pierce. This one was another one that was kind of strange, but worth watching. And I don't think it ever came with a slip, so I won't be on the lookout for that. But it's written and directed by John McTiernan. Leslie Ann Down gives a riveting performance, and Pierce Brosnan is top-notch, the most stylish supernatural-themed chiller. So yeah, it says they creep, they kill, and no one knows who they are or where they came from. But when these rootless demonic spirits descend on a determined doctor, and all hell breaks loose. Bitten by a dying madman named Jean Pommier, Dr. Elin Fox becomes the vessel for his turbulent and insane thoughts. Thrust into his last days, she is shocked to discover the existence of mysterious and murderous demons on a quest for destruction, and begins her own quest to somehow stop them before she joins Pommier and his horrifying fate. So yeah. Next up, watched this last year. Thought it was okay. I didn't like it as much as I hoped. I don't know if I would have bought it having already seen it, but since I bought it obviously and watched it, I'll probably keep it. Wes Craven film, written and directed by him. So yeah, this was one of the first 4Ks I watched on our new 4K player, I think. Or no, I didn't have the 4K player yet. So I wouldn't mind revisiting this on the new 4K player because it was so dark, it was hard to see. And we had a glare from one of our windows, and we got a blackout curtain for that, so that'll help too. Takes you on a terrifying journey inside the most demented house on the street. Trapped inside a fortified home owned by a mysterious couple, a young boy is suddenly thrust into a nightmare. The boy quickly learns the true nature of the house's homicidal inhabitants and the secret creatures hidden deep within the house. So yeah, like I said, I didn't like it as much as I hoped, so yeah. But keeping it, next up we got John Carpenter's House, Prince of Darkness. Watched this one either last year or the year before too. Another 4K. This one I liked quite a bit. Thought it was pretty good. So John Carpenter directs this terrifying battle between mankind and the ultimate evil. A group of graduate students and scientists uncover an ancient canister in an abandoned church, but when they open it, they inadvertently unleash a strange liquid and an evil force on all humanity. As the liquid turns their co-workers into zombies, the remaining members realize they have released the most unspeakable horror of them all. Terror mounts as the team must fight to save the world from a devilish fury that has been contained for over 7 million years. Yeah, I thought that one was pretty good. Really happy to have it in the John Carpenter collection. All right, getting down to only a few left here. Next up was one that I watched last year, and I think it was my favorite watch of the year, probably. I do try to watch mostly first-time watches. At least I have been the last few years doing this. But I do watch some things watch them every year or try to watch something in the series. But this was probably my favorite last year. We got Silver Bullet, this thrilling adaptation of Stephen King's novel cycle of the werewolf. A peaceful town is suddenly terrorized by a maniacal, why am I saying that weird, killer. The townsfolk think a madman is on the loose, but a wheelchair-bound 13-year-old boy, played by Corey Haim, knows the truth. A werewolf is on the hunt. With the help of his Uncle Red, played by Gary Busey, and Martin Kozlow sets out to stop the half-man, half-beast before he sinks his teeth into another innocent victim. So yeah, a lot of fun. 80s for sure, 1985. Definitely recommend this one if you haven't seen it. And like I said, really happy to have that one in the collection. Next up, we got Species. Watched the DVD of this, thought it was pretty good. So went ahead and grabbed it. Really good cast and supporting cast. You got Ben Kingsley, Michael Madsen, Alfred Molina, Forrest Whitaker, and Marg Hellenberger. I don't think, doesn't have her whole name. Natasha Henstridge is the main person in this one. It's pretty good though. We got when a beautiful human alien hybrid played by Henstridge escapes from observation. I don't know why I'm having trouble speaking. Scientist Xavier Fitch, played by Kingsley, dispatches a crew of experts to find her before she's able to fulfill her horrific purpose: to mate with unsuspecting men and produce offspring that could destroy mankind. As their deadly biological clock ticks rapidly, Fitch and his team are hurled into a desperate battle in which the fate of humanity itself hangs in the balance. So yeah, I haven't watched this since I picked up the 4K, but like I said, I thought when I watched the DVD that I really liked it and wanted to grab it. Another one I've seen but I haven't opened up, we got Starman, another John Carpenter. This one stars Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen. Thought this was pretty good. I don't remember how I watched it, but when a spacecraft is shot down over Wisconsin, an alien, played by Jeff Bridges, arrives at the remote cabin of a distraught young widow, played by Karen Allen, and clones itself into the form of her recently deceased husband. The alien coerces the shell-shocked Jenny to drive him to a pickup point hundreds of miles away, explaining that if he doesn't meet his mothership in 3 days, he'll die. So yeah, pretty good. Definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it. Recent pickup, we got The Strangers, one of the scariest movies in my opinion that I've ever watched. So it says at 4 a.m. or explore your worst fears with this shocking suspense thriller inspired by disturbing true events. After 4 a.m., knock at the door and a haunting voice. Kristen McKay and James Hoyt find their remote getaway becomes a night of psychological terror as three masked strangers invade. Faced with tormentors, Kristen and James must go beyond what they think they're able to endure if they have any hope to survive. So I remember this being really scary. It's been a while since I watched it, but I wanted to pick up the 4K because I only had it on DVD. So we got that there. Another 4K, another John Carpenter, another one that I really enjoy. I've only watched once, honestly, but look forward to revisiting it since I purchased it. We got Roddy Piper as the main character in this one. Horror master John Carpenter directs this heart-pounding thriller in which aliens are systematically gaining control of the Earth by masquerading as humans and lulling the public into submission. Humanity's last chance lies with a lone drifter who stumbles upon a harrowing discovery, a unique pair of sunglasses that reveals the terrifying and deadly truth. So yeah, that one's a lot of fun. Definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it. We got some more John Carpenter. This time we got The Thing. I was honestly a little disappointed in this one, and I really need to revisit it because I know so many people love it. So yeah, I'd only seen it the one time, and everyone talks so highly of it. I think I was just a little disappointed. So here we got Horror Master John Carpenter delivers a masterful exercise in claustrophobic suspense. Elaborate special effects set a high standard for films that followed. Kurt Russell's iconic, intense performance drives this chilling version of the classic The Thing. In the winter of 1982, a 12-man research team at a remote Antarctic research station discovers an alien buried in the snow for over 100,000 years. Soon unfrozen, the form-changing alien wreaks havoc, creates terror, and becomes one of them. So yeah, I remember thinking it was okay, or I mean, I understood why people liked it. I just didn't like it as much as I hoped. But big Kurt Russell fan of John Carpenter, so I had to have that one in the collection. Next up, another one we got from Joey and Unbroken Cinema. We got Trick or Treat. Really happy to have this with the slip. I think it's getting an Arrow 4K, but I thought this was pretty good. Anthology really does a great job of capturing Halloween and everything. So a creepy, darkly comic celebration of the scariest night of the year from writer-director Michael Daughtry. Trick or Treat takes the creep show Tales from the Crypt approach nefarious new depths with four interwoven tales set on a Halloween night. A high school principal moonlights as a vicious serial killer. The quest of a young virgin for that special someone takes a gruesome turn. A group of teens carries out a cruel prank with disastrous consequences, and a cantankerous old man battles a mischievous trick-or-treating demon. Yeah. Another one I've only seen once, but remember thinking it was really good, so looking forward to checking that one out. Next up, we got Village of the Dam, another John Carpenter, another one I haven't watched yet. Just recently purchased this 4K, so looking forward to checking it out. So Master of Horror and Suspense, John Carpenter brings you the chilling take on a terrifying classic. Something is terribly wrong in the tiny village of Midwich. After an unseen force invades the quiet town, 10 women mysteriously find themselves pregnant. Local physician Dr. Alan Chaffee, played by Christopher Reeve, and government scientist Dr. Susan Werner, played by Kirstie Alley, join forces when the women simultaneously give birth and the reign of supernatural terror begins. Mark Hamill is also in this as well. But yeah, I definitely plan on trying to watch that one this October. And then lastly, I have two of the Vincent Price collections. I got the original one, which I think this was a re-release, and then I have the third one. I'm missing the second one, which I think it goes for quite a bit of money. The first one comes with 6 movies: The Pit and the Pendulum, which I'm pretty sure I watched last year, The Mask of the Red Death, The Haunted Palace, The Fall of the House of Usher, Abominable Dr. Phibes, Witchfinder General, and then this one comes with Master of the World, Tower of London, Diary of a Madman, An Evening of Edgar Allan Poe, and Cry of the Banshee. So yeah, that is everything for my Scream Factory collection. A lot of things I'm really happy to have in the collection, and some ones I'm looking forward to checking out. Only 1 or 2 of those that I would get rid of. I'm definitely going to keep the Carpenter stuff regardless of what I end up thinking about it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't yet done so, please make sure to subscribe. This is the Physical Media Man signing off. Physical Media will never die. Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man. Yeah!